evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is very different than last night's when I didn't know what was going on with tariffs. It is Tuesday evening. It is November 26, 2024. All right, my friends, in looking at the markets and understanding what went on, what confused me last night was I understand the president-elect talking tariffs. What threw me completely was 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada. I would have thought the high number, because he only went 10% additional on China, would have gone 25% on China and potentially 10% on each of our trade partners, as they're our biggest partners. That wasn't what happened. There's been fallout from that. Prime Minister Trudeau immediately got on the phone with President Trump, and according to the press, they are going to beef up security, blah, blah, blah. You can ask why they haven't done it, but this is a different man, different president. We will see if they can appease what is going on here. But there were about 200,000 illegal immigrants from that side. The president of Mexico, Ms. Sheinbaum, is taking a very different tact, warning the president how much the U.S. will be hurt, other things. So she should do that. She's brand new at the job. She's got to prove herself. She's got time behind the scenes to do something different and really start getting her army to stop doing and allowing all these people to cross. Yeah, that means them putting it on the border and doing their share. Stop it. Stop the people from coming in at your other borders. They don't want to do that? Well, then that can happen. You saw GM, Ford, Stellantis, they all got slammed today. And that's because they produce so many cars in Mexico, and those will be subject to tax. So not a good move. Ford probably makes more cars in America than the others do. So these are just things that I'm reading and coming to. We then had the treaty that took place, or maybe we should call it a ceasefire. A 60-day ceasefire has been agreed to between Israel and Lebanon. The U.S. and French President Macron, they put this together. They did a great job. I think Qatar was involved. There were a number of parties to it. And the good news is it takes place at 4 in the morning, local time on Wednesday, which there, remember the time differences. But I want to repeat, this is a ceasefire, not a treaty. There's a lot of variables that go in, but if the missiles fly again from Hezbollah, Israel has the right to defend itself. We will see what happens, and all we can all hope for, fingers crossed, this is the beginning of the end there. And you can actually, the U.S. can help rebuild Lebanon and make it into the great country it once was. You know, I have a lot of friends that used to go to Beirut all the time, and they absolutely loved it years ago. It was the Riviera there. So we will see if that can ever come back the way that it was. Everything changes. Then we get to U.S. data tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about tonight, so just bear with me. Mortgage Bankers Association at 6 in the morning. U.S. weekly jobless claims 7:30. Our second and final look, I believe it is, of third quarter GDP. Then we get advanced durable goods data coming out Wednesday at 7:30. The Chicago purchasing PMI numbers will come out at 8:45. The National Association of Realtors will come out with their pending home sales at 9. Monthly personal income spending, the PCE numbers, they come out at 9. The EIA petroleum stocks will come out at 9:30, and then we'll get the natural gas storage numbers at 11. So if you think you're not going to have a busy day with data, wrong. But remember, they've crowded everything in as the markets aren't open for data. On Thursday, we come back to Friday, and things will reopen. I have sent out to all of my clients what the schedules are. I hope that your broker did the same for you. So now this takes us into a different understanding of where the markets are and were. It took overnight to get that, and now we can see that this is President-elect Trump's way of getting people now, before he takes office. Either do it, or I got that pen, I'll sign that deal, maybe the first day to put the tariffs on you, and then they go into effect just hours later. So you got to be careful. He can do this by presidential order. And I think you're going to see how people respond. We will find this out. It's going to be very important. When we look at the stock market, of course, at first everybody was scared, but as the day went on, that wore off. The market came back. The gold market's back to 26.5, so it's made back a chunk of change. Silver market coming back. I'd be very concerned with copper, though. You know, copper's still China. And more tariffs, and I don't think that they will kowtow in any manner to Trump. What do we have there? Maybe they can get along and understand this time around. They've got to do some things, but remember, the Great Wall, they do it all different there. As we look at the dollar index, it was up 20 points, but we're getting a little bit of a rally back in a number of the currencies, and you've got a different change in momentum in there. You'll want to look at the financial update for that. Bonds and notes fairly stable right now. So let's take a look at the gold market. And as you can see, you did come down to the 18-week moving average of closes. You held it and you had a bounce. When we look at the daily numbers right here, the daily bar chart, you had your bounce. So you broke, you came up about 63, 64% off that low of the size of the break, and you broke down again. Market's still not in a bullish pattern. You have on the swing line a higher high and a lower low pattern. The market is now probably going to fight a battle initially between the 100-day average and the 18 at this point. With if that gives ground, maybe we go down to the 25-40 level and fight another battle there at the lower Bollinger Band. So I'm just looking at a market waffling back and forth at this time and momentum going flat. In the gold-silver ratio, gold is still staying stronger than silver. Now, one of the things that we want to do is I've just shown you Dece gold. Tomorrow I'm going to the Feb gold. I've moved to the March silver already. And in this market, you have lower highs. The market broke down under the 18-day average of closes on this was Monday. Yesterday, which is today, you followed through for Tuesday, and now you're pretty stable tonight, and that's about it. But the trend is down, a lot of resistance starting from 31.12 up to the 32.95 area. In the copper market, I see a downtrend trying to establish a bearish embedded reading that it hasn't yet done. In the platinum market, bearish but narrowing in now at your objectives. I wouldn't be surprised if the pros start taking some money off the table here. You're oversold. You don't have to hit the last band. You're very much in that tolerance area. And at least we were right in saying here when we were, at least when I was talking to you, that I thought the market would have great resistance between the 100-day average in green, the 18, and the 200. And you did make the run to the 200. And from there, came back one time to the 18, and then the market let go. Last, in the dollar index, we have a market that is fighting for direction. I don't like what I'm seeing. You have lost the bullish embedded reading. So while the market went up, the odds favor that if this stays lost before you go up and hit this high of the 108.07, and you realize I'm talking 108, that's a pretty big important number. Before you go through that number, price and the 18-day average should make a run at each other. So those are some of the things that I look at. Now, other things you should look at are the free offers that we have. The Linn research is one of them. And let me tell you what this is important for. For those of you that trade spreads, for those of you that want a fundamental look at the market, you want chart pictures sent to you on a regular basis of price counts, other information that they look at. This is the way to see it. You cannot subscribe to it. It is free to our client base. So you got to either be with me as a subscriber, but most of the time you have to have a trading account with us. So to get this and see just what our clients see, why they take it, go to iraepstein.com. Under free trials on the top left, give it a click. Move your cursor also, you can to the top here, and the link will take you right to that section of our website. I'm Ira. Have a great evening.